Yo, what up, baby? It's Wake Up with DJ Sus One's Taste on Dash. You know what I'm saying? DJ Sus One, the feature presentation. And we got new talent in the building. Introduce yourselves.
What's up? This is the mighty Mmupclan. I am Face, El Jefe of the Mmupclan.
I'm your boy Barlow's got bars right here, repping the Mmupclan. You know the deal.
What's up? I'm Sesh Studio, aka Sesh One Stops, the producer.
And I am Sneaky DJ MC, anything you need. Just trying to keep it all together.
So Mmupclan, give us some background on how you guys, met and came together and formed this whole situation.
All right. Well, the Monster Mashup Clan, which is what Mmupclan stands for, is like we were all just individuals doing our own thing in the LA scene. All monsters in our own realm. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we kind of kept linking up, running into each other all over the scene in LA, and eventually, we just would get in the studio, or we do projects or events together, and we were like, all right, we gotta Voltron this shit and take over.
Were you guys influenced by MOP at all? Because they got the abbreviation Mashup Posse, and you guys got the Mmupclan Monster Mashup Clan.
I would say more. I just like abbreviations because Face is actually.
Do y'all rob people? Do y'all rob people on the weekends? Like
definitely not.
Definitely not.
No, yeah.
I mean, man, past life shit is past life shit.
We steal the hearts and minds of fans everywhere.
There you go.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your music and who influences y'all and who has influenced y'all and who inspires you guys.
Well, really, I grew up in the 90s in LA, so it's hard not to soak in all that. So obviously Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, but my mom was always like anti-gang, anti-rap, anti-hip hop. So naturally I started going more towards conscious music, stuff that she wouldn't trip if she heard me listening to. Common, Talib Kweli, Black Star, Mos Def, message music. And that's kind of where I really fell in love with hip hop, like telling people stories and, combating oppression and speaking truth to power. And so that's kind of what I try to embody in my music.
Yeah, and I'd say everything from growing up listening to salsa and dancing at parties to falling in love with Thug's Mansion when I heard it, and all of Eminem's quirky, entertaining raps. And then, of course, when you get to that rebellious stage, I think I was super, super into Immortal Technique. So, and then studying the game, Big Pun, and all the way back to Big Daddy Kane, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Rakim, it's just the deeper I dug, the more I fell in love.
Nice.
That's dope.
That sounds like if you're talking about a girl, the deeper I dug, the more I found in love.
I used to love her, man.
It was like, this guy's whipped. No, he's not.
On hip hop.
Pause.
To life, you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. Oh man, what about you, brother, man?
I mean, everybody Face named right now is pretty on par as far as hip hop. For me, it was bunch of different genres from classic rock to underground ska, reggae, tropical music. I mean, I like it all, to be honest. Everything but country and bluegrass. Sorry.
But that's crazy because a lot of awesome music was born from bluegrass.
I mean, country rock, like the Eagles, that's dope. But bluegrass, banjo, you know what I mean?
I feel you.
Can't do it. Sorry, doesn't call to me.
Yo, how difficult is for y'all being in a group, 4 dudes? You guys are around the same age, everybody, right?
Yeah, just about.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one or
within half a decade for sure.
within half a decade. 1 or 2
Like,
years.
do y'all get into brotherly fights? Has anybody punched each other in the face? What's going on? How difficult is it being in a group? Do y'all argue over women? Are you
No,
nothing like that. No punching in the face and stuff. But
especially not arguing over women.
Interesting story. When I met Sneaky, I kind of wanted to punch him in the face, but
damn,
we got
yeah. Then there's a whole podcast episode on that.
But no, the thing is the cool thing about I think men who kind of let go of their egos more than others is that I wanted to punch him in the face, but when he stood up to me and or in his own way too, you got to respect that in another man, and then you speak things out because we're grown men, can't always result to violence. So.
I think we're also just blessed that we came together later in life when we were older.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure if we would have met 5-10 years earlier, it might have been way more confrontational, but right now we got more important things to do. Like we obviously argue about things, we disagree about things. It's not all fucking rainbow sunshines, unicorn farts, but like at the end of the day, we try to communicate as effectively as possible, and we try to always be honest about everything, and like we don't try to let stay inside and fester. And I think we leave the ego at the door, and we're here to create and make great shit.
Transparency is for sure key.
That's the word.
Yeah, and then I think we were having a conversation before we went on air actually about how we like that we really can disagree all the time and still be brothers. Like we're not gonna see eye to eye, but we're gonna respect each other's lifestyles and opinions.
What made y'all want to be in a group when groups are just not like as dominant as it used to be? I mean, yeah, we got Migos. Who else we got? We got City Girls. With in the 90s, groups were way bigger. Like, you know what I'm saying? There was tons of groups, but it's just not as dominant now. What made y'all say, you know what, we're going to do this as a group. We're going to do this together instead of doing your solo things?
Well, I think, like I said, we were all monsters in our own rights, and like really, like, I had the scene unlocked in a certain part of LA, and so did these guys in different ways, and I personally just think, two heads is better than one. Teamwork make the dream work and all that. And also, like, I was a Wu-Tang fan. I was all the dopest, like, Run DMC, Beastie Boys, like
Beastie Boys, Run DMC, the Locks, everybody was Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep.
I love Posse Cuts, and I just always think that there's something dope about some MCs and a DJ, like you're high. It's like a party on stage every time you rock. So,
and I came from like oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, tell me everybody's role in the group. Like, tell me what is people's responsibility, what their position is in this group.
Well, that's like what I was gonna speak on, is because I came from a rock background, and so did Sesh. We came from live bands and stuff, so we're used to like group dynamics. But also, I think everybody right here does more than just music. A lot of the groups that you named, I mean, obviously I'm not in those rooms. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but I feel like they're more like just artists. Whereas like we're also our own fucking marketing managers, we're our own producers, our own engineers, we edit our own videos, our own content. So like each of us has a certain role in making this a team that's not just making music, but we're actually trying to make a movement. And like we support each other in ways that if we were solo, we would still need to like hire people or like have a team around us to do some of the things that like we do out of love, and brotherhood, and like trying to make it together. So I do a lot of like the audio production. Like I produce the podcast. I do a lot of editing the videos. And I also like write music and, help with the beats. And sometimes I'm the DJ, like when we're live and shit.
When Sneaky says DJ, MC, anything you need, he means it. He literally is like, if there's a puzzle at play, and there's a tiny piece missing, he literally like transform into that piece and make it happen. Yeah, but I don't like. I'd say I'm what you guys say? Public relations,
PR for sure. There's also our leader.
Yeah, the Matt.
He's like the face of the organization. When people think about us, or if someone needs to like get an answer on something that needs to get done, usually it ends up at this man's desk, and he has to like make the final call. And
yeah, and then like strategists, right? Like, I'd be figuring out our plot.
Marketing strategy as well.
Tell me a little bit about y'all backgrounds, like the way y'all was raised, the way y'all came up. Is anybody like straight from the gutter, straight from the streets? Anybody who was raised in the suburban life?
I mean,
besides me,
I grew up in South Central LA. A lot of fisticuffs, a lot of dodging unmarked cars and whatnot. So yeah, I guess I'd be the gutter one. Yeah, man. I went to like 5 different high schools because it's such bullshit. I grew up first generation, not poor, but not rich, had a hustle to get those extra things. And, I did what I had to do. Thank God I'm on the other side of that. Thank God, I'm on a musical path and not in jail or dead like a lot of my friends,
Yeah, I grew up in Echo Park. It's now gentrified, of course, like everything else in the USA, you know what I mean? But that was straight gang banging all the time, like around me, and getting pocket checked and shit, trying to run from police. Like this crazy stuff. Like
Echo Park. When Echo Park was still Echo Park.
Right by Dodger Stadium down Sunset. But nowadays, I grew up. It was pretty hard on us. Like my mom did what she could, but you know what I mean. When got an alcoholic father and starts doing, the most. It's like you get to see that and you're like, oh, I gotta make sure that I can put her up in the pedestal with this music and make sure she'll be all right for the rest of her life. You know what I mean? So it's just the initiative that I got I do it for her.
That's right.
That's sick.
Myself, I come from immigrant parents, and I was raised in Southeast LA. Went to 2 high schools because I got kicked out of the first one for fighting. But never, yeah, right. Never really joined a gang. Did get into a lot of fights, but thankfully never joined the lifestyle. Other than that, music pretty much kept my attention and kept me out of trouble.
I also come from immigrant parents, first generation, but they were more on the privileged side, and they definitely, worked hard to keep me. Like I lived in the hood, but I never really stayed in the hood. I went to private schools outside of the hood, so I had a whole different upbringing, very multicultural, very diverse, a lot of focus on education and reading and all that. But I did end up losing my dad at a young age to cancer. And I think that kind of like fucked up my whole trajectory kind of, because I just became like a problem child at that point. And yeah, I ended up different schools to the point where I had, my mom was, I'm not going to pay for this education anymore. You're just fucking throwing it away. So she sent me to public school where I ended up meeting this motherfucker. And that was probably like the best and the worst thing that could happen to me at the time. But, luckily I had a strong support system, and, I found music and I found, I was able to channel that shit and use like the art to heal and transform myself. And I ended up becoming, successful in my own right. And so I definitely had a different upbringing than these dudes, but we talk about it sometimes, and we were kind of in the same places, but just didn't know each other because we were like, on different sides of the
we were different
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
He was in the essays that I was trying to avoid because I was like, those fools look like they're gonna jump me if I fucking look at them wrong. So I'm gonna kick it over here by the Nas tanks.
Yeah.
No comment.
Yo, let's talk about the music real quick. No Business on the Phone. Scratches was lit. Ethos was doing those scratches, right?
Yeah, DJ at those.
Drugs and Groceries. What talk to me about Drugs and Groceries? Like, what's the underlining message of that song?
Well, honestly, I mean, can I tell them the truth?
Well, we were in the studio one time, and we were like, we were feeling ourselves, and we were, we were like listening to beats, and we were just bullshitting.
And I was like, I just be spending my money on drugs and groceries, and it was just like
everybody stopped.
And we were like, hold on.
That's
and then we started making the chorus to the
beat.
beat, and we were like, that actually goes. And then we just, I think that we were like, all right, the chorus is catchy, everybody's gonna like that, but like let's talk some real shit on these verses. And that's what we did. I talked about like my perspective on drugs and groceries and why I do what I do and so on and so forth. So yeah.
And that's kind of always my role. Like I said, I like the message music. I try to be conscious. So when these fools come up with a concept, I'm always like, all right, how can I flip that and make this positive or critique society or do something with it that's not like, you hear that hook and then you kind of would expect like people to just be talking about popping pills, doing codeine or whatever, but I was like, how do we make this like, how do we spit some real shit right
here? Yeah.
How do y'all feel about you guys? A lot of y'all from Cali, so this is probably an irrelevant question, but in New York it's relevant. How do you guys feel about weed becoming legal finally? It's probably it's been in Cali. It's been.
I mean, I think we're happy about everybody.
For a long time.
No, me and Barlos have gone to New York a couple times, and I actually grew up going to New York a lot. And I think it's awesome that even when we were out there, what was that? 3 years ago, 2018. It was like right before it got legal, and we were walking around the park smoking, and fools were looking at us like crazy. And then somebody came up to us like, "Yo, that's not cool here. Like you might get stopped by the police." Now. And then we were like, what? That's what? No, this is crazy. You can't walk in the park and smoke. Like, it wasn't always legal here, but they kind of just let that shit slide. Not there.
I remember Miami one time, and like I sparked up in the parking lot, and all the Miami homies from inside the restaurant were all looking at me like nah, bro. And I was like,
a word?
Nah, but honestly, one of my main missions in life is to like end the drug war and end stigma. Me and Wonder got into it one time about that, but every Monday I actually do like a little segment on our podcast where I cover all the legalization news, and like so I actually was following that New York story, and I'm pumped, man. I think like there's a whole social cultural revolution happening right now about drugs and psychedelics and plant medicines, and looking to like things that we used to think were illegal as like possible cures for PTSD and depression and all that. So I'm super pumped. And the revenue and
the decriminalization is really the thing, right?
the revenue, expunging of the records, and creating like
part.
these organizations are going to tax and make sure that money goes into like programs instead of to like just keep militarizing the police. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Heard you.
Cypress Hill is like a huge influence on me. So like,
and he got some dank.
I wanna get high.
Yeah, and like that every time I've seen him in concert a couple of times, and he always just fucking be sparking up some super fucking joint. Like,
shout out Cypress Hill from Southgate. Shout out
Southeast LA represent.
Yeah, that's right. Latinos on it.
Yo, where do you guys want to go with the with your music? What do you guys want to bring to the culture, to the hip hop culture? Like, what mark you guys trying to leave with your brand and music?
I mean, I think I'm everything I do is just trying to give a voice to the people like me and inspire the kid that was like me, that was in the streets, but music was his way out. So like really just uplift my people in that way. And everything I do is like we all have a plan, and at the end of our like journey on the music road, it's not really the end, but like the actual road and touring and all that, we all want to have programs in our neighborhoods that we grew up in to make it better, so that's kind of where I'm at.
If for me, I want to see the next kid, as far as like, to touch on what Face is talking about, like really artist development and encourage these children, because there's not enough encouragement nowadays, especially with the cyberbullying, social media, everything's really exposed for them to be right at their fingertips. And I feel if you can show some kids some love, like they got some talent, you can open up a field of dreams for them.
That's right.
I think for myself, since I'm like usually looking at the sound overall, I'd like for us to leave a mark as far as like when you hear a Mmupclan song, you don't got to think too hard before you go, that's Mmupclan.
That part, yeah, for sure.
That for me, that's what I'm trying to achieve.
I think really we're just trying to be an example of how a different way, an alternative of doing it, like we own our music.
Ownership.
We split things evenly, that none of us is making more or getting screwed in any of the deals that we do. And I think personally, like music, when people say music saved my life, like sometimes that shit sounds cliche or whatever, but like I think art, like even for people who don't want to do it professionally, or who aren't good at it, or who don't think they're creative, I think art and expression is like a powerful tool, to build confidence and to help people like change themselves. And I feel like society and the education system, they don't respect the arts. Like there's no love to the arts, there's no money going to, there's no investment in the arts. And I think like people don't see it as something that is like beneficial. And I want to change that. I want to put that story out there that like, being able to write poetry and being able to like put stuff in a journal, or like, even if you don't want to paint, like just painting, like just, sitting down and just zenning out, and like, it's flow state type shit. It's just good for you. And I think, we're going to prove that by being super successful and being able to create these programs and like transform our neighborhoods,
Nice. What projects does Up have out right now, and what's up next for the whole group? What's coming soon?
Currently we're dropping a lot of singles, and we're just we're trying to give everything its content so people could feel the full message. We also do these things called Mmupclan Invasions, where we take beats and we kind of show off our lyrical prowess on like famous beats, or well-known beats, and those are all on our YouTube. And then I have this thing called, or this segment called the Many Facades of Face, where I kind of do the same, and like in each verse I'm kind of talking a different part of my life, the many facades. And all of it is just like to allow people to connect to us on a different level. We also have our podcast that we do every Monday on Twitch. Mmupclan, follow us. It's Monstercast, Monster Mondays. And the 14th, we're dropping our new song, which is,
well, I guess by the time this comes out, it'll be out already, right? Yeah.
Right.
So go listen to the new single is Chico Calabasas. Produced by my boy Sesh right here, featuring Preach the Truth on the hook.
right.
And yeah, and then you guys are dropping a single.
May 28th.
Facing Barlos.
Facing Barlos. We're dropping Playing Too Much, and it's a banger.
And then
Nice.
the Pride, does the Pride have any singles? Because Sesh is also the lead singer of a reggae band
Yeah,
where
that's
he
right.
fucking made
Oh, yeah, I
like,
didn't-
Wow.
so
Wow.
I think he has he has some shit coming
Yeah,
out.
we're dropping a cumbia song for all my Latin people and everybody that enjoys those type of rhythms. That's it, man. It's called Musa. Keep it open.
And we're also like the world is opening up again, so expect shows, expect tours, expect more interviews, expect more socializing events, and hopefully we're gonna get back to what we were doing before the pandemic, which is like, you know, events 2-3 times a week, touring, traveling. You know, maybe we'll be on the East Coast, maybe we click up when we go over there, see what's good.
Let's do
you
it.
know? Yeah, so
yeah.
and then Europe's happening for sure. Latin America is happening for sure. It's just a matter of when and where, and making sure the logistics make sense, you know.
Before we get out of here, can we get some bars from you guys?
Got some beats.
You got a beat? Or we?
Nah, there's no beat. This is Zoom life.
Damn it, Sesh.
So we're gonna beatbox this shit.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah. All right.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Playing the gang on the land, and look at me, I'm making dreams come true like I got the sand. I'm a G, the real spit from the real. Understand, I'm a spit who kept it real when I got a deal. You got to deal with this up on Sus One. We the bun. We got the shit spitting like I'm Big Pun.
The gauge, you know, irrelevant, you know, the Ramadan, we not eating in spite of the feel the light. This is how it just fit it, you know, it's Jesus Christ, pray to it every night. God on my knees, I get the girl in the fleas. Y'all niggas can never do it. I'm sucking vitamin D, what she love it in the morning. Come in, we about to day. Do it, DJ Sus One, put it away.
Sneaky on the mic every day. I woke up too damn early. It's like 6 a.m. on the West Coast. I ain't slept this early in a long time. Still kicking these dope rhymes. My mind kind of slow because I smoked 2 blunts before the show. Man, Sus One catching me. Rob, I'm trying to have some fun with the Mmupclan. That's Mmupclan till the day we die. That's no end. Even after we dead, the music gonna tell our story, my friend.
Hey.
All right.
Yeah.
I was real freestyling too. Mmupclan, thank you for the interview. I'm looking forward to hearing more music. Tell people where they can follow you. Tell people where they can find the music and all of that.
All right, so at Mmupclan on everything, you know, the continuity is there. Check everything out. We got something dropping almost every single week, maybe even twice a week. You can find me at Face VSIT. That's Face versus it, because I don't fuck with these claimers.
You can find me at Barlow's Got Bars on all social media platforms. Check out the Mmupclan page.
You can find me at Sesh Studio on all platforms. Go hit up our Mmupclan page, follow, check out our merch, support.
You can find me at Official Sneaky on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Mmupclan.com. There's an online store. Buy the merch. We got shirts. We got different shirts from all the individual cats here too. Twitch.tv/Mmupclan every Monday night, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And also the YouTube. YouTube is popping. We're dropping you every song that we talked about. We have some kind of visual for it. So youtube.com/Mmupclan. Find it, follow, subscribe, and support the movement, because we're going places and you should come with us. Let's go.
Facts. Love Mmupclan. Thank you for the interview, y'all. I'm looking forward.
All right, man.
Thank you, Sus. Good to see you again, brother.
Respect. This is DJ Sus One. Wake up with DJ Sus One. Taste on Dash.